There's still room for improvement, and I want to get out there and give it everything. Yeah, you put your life on hold, you know, everything goes into the one basket. So you don't want to lose, you know, you are putting everything out there. I don't want to come away disappointed.
It's almost 3 years since Attitude first filmed Kate. An awful lot has changed since then, both in terms of Kate's attitude and limb technology. Kate wants the best of what's on offer.
With advances in technology, Paralympic athletes know that those with the best technology have got an edge.
Today, Kate and a support team are at the Gait Lab in Auckland. That's gait, as in walking. It's a high-tech facility that assesses both running and walking. Biomechanics.
Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning, team.
Lovely to see you.
G'day.
Ready to go, are we?
Yep.
Do you want to lift?
Yeah, can I jump on?
Well, this place looks quite rudimentary. It just looks like a big open shed, but Uwe, what's going on?
Well, this place is used to do sports and clinical biomechanics analyses, and the core unit of it is we have 8 high-speed and high-resolution cameras around here. With that, we can reconstruct the movement of any person running, walking, or doing any other task.
We were getting analysis done, sort of 3D analysis and force plate data. The reason being was to see what sort of forces were going through my legs. We're a little bit concerned that my prosthetic side wasn't, like the forces through that side were not as great as my good leg, in terms, which means that basically I'm probably going to be more prone to injury, and I am having a few troubles with injury. So hoping to sort of be able to get this data, analyse it, and then know what sort of changes we could do.
At today's session, members of the Paralympic support crew are collaborating and learning exactly what Kate needs.
I mean, that would be my sense of it, just running as fast as Kate's comfortable to do with the deceleration in mind.
This is Kate's competition limb, carbon fibre. The limbs are cut to size to suit each athlete. But research is continuing to highlight how these limbs might be improved and adjusted to enhance performance.
When the blade turns up, it's slightly longer and it needs shortening, and that's part of the craft that the prosthetists have to do, is to decide where to cut that to actually shorten it back. The main, then the adjustments are actually done up here where the blade goes onto the socket, so they can make some adjustments inwardly or outwardly or further back. So once it's in place, then it's adjusted as necessary, from Kate's sensations and other values that we can look at.
Technology is becoming more and more important all the time. If we're going to keep up with the rest of the world, we really need to have our finger on the pulse, and whether we're there at the moment, I'm not sure, but we're definitely striving to get up there.
I think to know that you've got the best leg for yourself is awesome. I mean, obviously you're out there and you know that you've got the very best, and now it's just your body. You've got to, you know, perform.
Kate's not happy with the current setup of her training limb.
What I'm thinking is that the knee, the reason the foot is turning in, I'm thinking is the way the knee is set. But when I've said this to Jeff, he has said, no, that this is straight, and the foot is what he's turned out.
To change here, will it change the knee and the hip? Those things need to be tested.
I guess once you're competing on the world stage, you're competing against other countries. So for them to say they'll help you, I mean, it's not in their best interest.
Just bend your head forward and back up. Just do that. Basically, these markers are going to be reflecting light from our cameras.
Sensors are placed on Kate's arms, legs and head. Computers will take readings from each and form a composite picture of Kate in action.
So you probably get asked all the time, but I'm still curious. Yeah.
I'm not telling?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
I'm kidding. It was a congenital abnormality.
Okay,
I amputated it when I was 5.
The technicians will take more than a week to analyse the data, draw conclusions and pass on their advice. Kate hopes it will explain repeated injuries. It's a challenge for Kate to rapidly get up to speed and land precisely on the sensors under the floor. But the artificial limb makes it even more of a challenge to stop in a hurry.
The last 7 months, for me, I've not only been injured, but I've also had difficulties with my leg. The last blade I had was too soft, so I just wasn't getting the drive I needed coming out of the blocks. And so now we've replaced that soft blade with a firmer blade. However, the adjustment hasn't been so easy as just to change the blades. It's affected my running style and my technique. and I found that my left side is possibly a lot weaker than my right side. So it's brought a whole lot of other problems. And then knowing where to cut the blade, and in New Zealand, because we haven't had that much experience, having to get those answers from elsewhere or just doing trial and error, which when a blade costs sort of $6,000, it's not the sort of thing you can say, hey, we'll cut it here, if it doesn't work, we'll just replace it.
What you can't tell from watching Kate today is that she's been dealing with an ongoing injury. For months, she's been pushing through the pain to train.
The injury I've got is called osteitis pubis, and it's basically caused by the imbalance. They're hoping that the data that they got from the other day will help to lower the risk, or improve the injury, I should say. And I sort of had 7 months probably trying to rehab it. At the end of the day, they couldn't. It's still painful. It's not fixed. But I want to get to Beijing. If I break in half, I break in half. I'm prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to walk away and say, well, the injury needs more time.
And it's all about medals here. Spark says we're going to have medals, that's what we're going to deliver.
Each athlete who's being considered by Paralympics New Zealand meets to discuss their individual performance plan. These meetings set very clear goals and expectations for each of the potential medalists. They're talking 13 medals. That's a lot from a small team, and a lot of pressure, but the campaign should ensure athletes have the support to do their best.
Oh yeah, had great support. Malcolm's been super, sort of rings quite often, keeps me up to date with progress and things.
We're looking at them based on the performances they've done, plus we're introducing a tracking system so we know where they're at, we know what their competition is at, and the rate of change, and that's significant. It's quite ruthless. It's saying medals are important, but that's what Spark, our funders, say, and it's not just Paralympics, it's across the board. PNZ, you must win 13 medals at Beijing. End of story.
There's a lot more support around us, which is just fantastic.
2 weeks later, and Uwe has assessed Kate's tests at the Gait Lab.
There is a slightly asymmetric hip movement, as well as a slightly asymmetric loading of the hip joint.
This image clearly shows the way in which Kate's hips move and the imbalance. Trainers will now design an exercise program to build her muscles and offset that. The result should be more power.
At this stage, we have to really work with the coaches and limb fitters to actually figure out what the best options are for her.
In Athens, I ran the 400. However, I was the only amputee. I was running against girls that were missing hands or arms. So even though I broke a world record, it wasn't recognised by medals. And I think at the end of the day, world records can be broken, but medals are for life.
Kate's record was broken by an American, but... Bit of a newsflash, I'm here in Taipei with athlete Kate Horan at the International Wheelchair and Amputee Games. We're shouting Kate a massage because she's just regained her 400 metres world record and gained herself a gold medal.
Well, I wasn't going to run the 400, but I'm very, very pleased that I did. The leg proved itself over 400 metres. Still think it might need a little bit of work over the 1 and 2. Yeah! But I'm so, so happy to have my world record back.
That's it from us. We're going to leave you with an impromptu moment from Kate.
That's what it's supposed to feel like. Can someone bring me some flowers?